Good morning. Good morning. In the simulation. Good morning, simulators. I'm waiting for the live stream to begin. This tab is using your camera. Yes, thank you. All good. All right. Good morning, guys. Hey, guys. I love seeing these familiar peoples. I'm tired today, but my son and I are having a pajama day. We're watching movies, and he's going to attempt to teach me how to play some horrifically, probably violent video game. So I wanted to get on early before I totally forgot. How it works right now, some of you are asking me why I'm going live every day. Following orders. Helping you hack the matrix one day at a time. And today we're going to be talking about death and life, which goes perfectly with this video game concept. If I can wake up here. Let me think where we're going here. Oh, yes. Okay. So, first of all, someone's asking me, why do you always rock Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang raised me. I'm that child. That's where I come from. Wu-Tang's for the children. You don't know about that life. Okay. Anyways, hey, Harps, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about something you're going to appreciate today, Harps, because I've been talking to you about this, girl. Okay. All the way up from, yep. Hey, guys, put where you are right now. You're in Dubai, right? Okay, we got Dubai. We got someplace in Canada. That's awesome. All right, let's get to it. So I'm not taking up your whole Saturday. And Fat Buddha Rabbit wanted to be seen and heard today, so we rub him for good luck. He was part of my apothecary gang for a minute, so he's here. All right, so life and death. Think about it. If you've ever played a video game, if you have ever watched a video game, right? It takes you how many times before you even get the lay of the land, right? You're literally dying with like zero remorse. You're like, start over. And probably for the first few hours of you even playing a video game, you're literally just getting the lay of the land, like seeing who your opposition is, like getting the layout of like how it all works, blah, blah, blah. And every time you die, you're not like, oh, I mean, you might be a little frustrated because you have to start at the beginning, but think about it. Every time you come back, you have wisdom, you know where things are, you know how things work, you know what your objective is. And this simulation is literally why we have been incarnating for the very same reason. But here's the difference. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to keep dying to reset this. The reason why a lot of times your life will start looking like you're losing everything is because your avatar is trying to reset the game. And the fastest way you've done it in the past parallel experiences of what we would call past lives is that you just like let go of the baggage, begin again. Like Buddha said, begin again. That's the way we've been rolling. And the reason why was because the earth was in a darker space. And that means that she was not yet gridded with the Christ light. She did not have the star seeds here. She was in a different vibration. And so it was a lot easier for like the dark to rule. And you may be like, what's darker than what I'm seeing on TikTok? Well, hello, they used to stone people in the streets, people. And that was like what you did on a Sunday. That was normal. So we have come a little bit. We have graduated from street stoning, peeps. So we got to give ourselves some props. We're no longer doing that for like fun, even though you still go eat those giant turkey legs at the Renaissance Fair, which I don't understand, but people still be doing that, right? And that's like what they did. And they were like, oh, I hope there's another lynching today. And like kids would be there. So we have come far. And now Earth is reaching this pivotal space where she has enough photonic energy, aka light, that we don't have to push up daisies to keep the wisdom, because you guys know every time you play a video game, you keep the wisdom of the game, but you get to reset the avatar. So you're not like walking around bullet holes and like, but here's the thing. This is what we're trying to do. This is why this time is brutal. It is brutal because we are trying to have life reviews, and every time we have like a death experience in our avatar. So you guys might not be aware of this, but you're probably going to have 7 different lifetimes in this life. So think about how many different versions of you have already been. Okay. And now what normally we'd do, we would get to the point where we were just like, we can't take it anymore. Let's 0 point this out. Let's get a fresh body. Even though you do start over again with the amnesia because you're God pretending that you're not, and you need a little bit of a challenge. And so you do put the amnesia thing on. But usually each time you come, the spiritual stuff is easier. You know stuff faster. You're kind of like, come on. You're ready to beat the game. And it's a little frustrating because you're playing at more of like a doctorate intelligence spiritual level, but you're in like, a kindergartner body, which is very frustrating. That's what I would call a lot of the kids that are here now, is they're frustrated. This is why they don't want to work. They're like, can we get on with this game? We know how this works. We've been here a few times. And there's also ET kids here that have been like, I don't know what y'all doing here, but your food is trash. You got all this racism against genders and all stuff. So we're just going to be everything just to poke you and push your buttons. And so that's what happens, is when things get glitched, that's when people start to wake up. When there's more light on the planet, people are starting to wake up. So since 2012, we've had this mass awakening happening. It was also the end of the simulation. Even though you are in still a simulation, the simulator game, the game creators were no longer able to create more of the game. So it's almost like when PS4 like retired or whatever. And I don't know what I'm saying because I don't play video games, but like, and then PS5 came online. You can still buy a PS4, but like, who wants that, thing? And now you want the PS5 game because it has like the new worlds and the new systems and the upgrades and blah, blah, blah. So it's not even like a new game. It's like a new system. And so 2012 was the new system upgrade. And so the game makers were no longer able to continue to generate like the loop effect, but they were allowed with what we had bought into to leave it as it is and try to sucker us to still buy into it and still kind of like play into it, because in virtual reality, whatever you believe is your universal truth. So someone over there could be deep in the simulation, like, help. And then you're over here like, what simulation? So we can have all these little metaverses. So what we're doing on Earth is we're all having our metaverse. We're having our individual universe. And then we're connected to kind of a collective experimental game. And in regular video games, you get to die to reset. But in this joint, we are trying to get rid of our baggage and let go, because one of the reasons why some of us are moving so slow in this is because we have been taught, as one of the programs in this simulation, that letting go means death. It means loss. It means that you failed. It means that you don't love someone, or, there's so many programs built into your software that tell you that letting go means failure, loss, death, and 100 different other things. This is why people are like energetic hoarders. Okay. I just talked to a couple of clients, 2 clients today, actually, where I was like watching their progress, and they're like right about to go break through this firewall and get to the next level of this ascension game. And it's like, what's letting go? So I'm like checking energetically, and I'm like, oh, so I go into a channel, and the channel comes out, and she's like, you need to get rid of those divorce papers. You need to get rid of those old pictures. You need to get rid of that person energetically, because you're trying to like make space for this new soulmate to come in, but there's part of your energetic template that won't let go. And you're like, oh, I don't let go of my pictures. But you think, see, I'm gonna give you a sentence, and I hope that this burns in your brain like a bad Disney song. Okay, what you possess is possessing you. Bottom line. Just marinate on that. Marinate on that. What you possess is possessing you. Now, most of you feel like a battery. You feel like you're battery operated. At the end of the day, you got no mental, you got brain fog, like you need some sort of carb just to relax. You feel you're battery operated. Do you know that you have a direct source connection? So you are like a brand new iPhone with a good charger. Okay, you got full bars. Okay, which I'm not a big Apple fan, but whatever. You have full bars. And yet, how is it that you feel like you don't? Well, let's say you're 100% energy. You got 10% in the closet in that old relationship crying over divorce papers that you should be celebrating over. Like, woo! Okay? But when we don't make space in the space suit, then we will never change the set point. Now, you guys have heard this on all the finance podcasts, money mindset. Well, I'm going to give you the Jedi mindset. Okay? The Jedi mindset is to understand what a set is. And I looked at the definition because I was like, I'm gonna see this. It says to put or to bring together in a state of being. Right? Bashar 101. Your state of being creates your reality. Your personality creates your reality. Joe Dispenza. Okay? This ain't even my guruism. This is like ET science right here. Okay? So my 2 cents is what you possesses you. And the reason I know that is because I am an intuitive life coach. So I see energy. I can see the ones and the zeros, okay, and how they all work together, and how you get stuck in an old avatar when you feel new. Because in the earth game, right, in the system, they teach you are linear and you are form. You are 99% emptiness, 0 space. You got 1% form, and you hold on to that like it is like everything. Okay? When you are infinite potential, infinite possibilities, infinite creatorship. Okay? So let's get to this. This is my Sit With It Saturday conversation. If you are really just infinite potential, but you're holding on to that 1% chance that dude is going to change, or that over there is going to change, but you realize that your mindset, your set of belief systems that makes your state, okay, your state of being is going to be what state you live on. And so in that state, you can only attract men like that. In that state, you can only attract money in this glass ceiling. In this state, you can only look for answers. You can't find answers, because if you fall into the seeker state, then you are forever a seeker, because you live in the state of I seek. So think about the state of being as I seek. Okay, or I give losers another chance, or I'm trying to get paid, or I'm trying to get well. That's not a state. We got to go back to Yoda one-on-one. State of being. Okay? State of being. So who you be is the set that you are attracting. It's like your set. And really where we want to get is out of the mind and back into the heart, where we are trying to be so desensitized that killing each other on a video game makes it easier for us to see killing in the street. Hello, don't you think that was part of that agenda? Like, you watch these shows and it's just like blood, blah, blah. It becomes desensitized, so it becomes easier. Right? And then you see someone on the street and you're like, that's a waste of space. And it doesn't even cross your mind that you had a satanic thought there for a minute, because that's how you're programmed to be. Okay, because that is like I get to choose who's here and who's not. That's satanic viewpoint. You got the wrong color skin. Satanic viewpoint. Hello. I'm trying to use a filter to look tanner in this winter. Hello. Come on. So with this idea of death and life, you got to ask yourself, who is it within me? What part? What split personality? What entity? What program do I have running? What childhood belief system? What do I have running that is keeping me holding on to the past, thinking that it's going to help me in the future when the past creates the future if I don't let go? This is why it's so much easier to die. Except then you incarnate as a baby and you're like in the opposite karma and you're like, oh no. So you got to face your karma if you come back, right? And none of us want to do that again because we probably did dirt in our younger years. We don't want to have to have that be our parents. So your parents are going to be the opposition of your last karmic cycle. Okay, so your mom is a narcissist. You were the narcissist last time. Embrace it. Embrace it. Full circle. Love, all good. Forgiveness. But that's how it works here because you have been in a simulation for a hot minute. Some of you think, oh, I just came from a different planet. This doesn't make sense here. No, you had to spend at least a parallel life here to get to know hell before you moved in. You did, because you needed to know how it all worked so you didn't look too foreign coming in. Now, some of the new kids, they ain't been here, and you can tell. Okay, but that's a different glitch. I'm part of the original, I'm the OG glitch. I'm the OG glitch, okay? Like, my parents were trying to be empathic, but weren't quite there yet. And, like, how they raised us was, like, old school, okay? Like, I went to school in the Valley in California. It's very old school parenting model. So, and then I'm raising my kids like I would never beat my kids. I would never not let them feel their feelings. I would never let them not feel seen and heard by existence. I would never want them to feel like they couldn't achieve whatever they set their mind to. But that's a big gap. So now we're all trying to go, wait. We're trying to catch up with how fast this new game is undergoing, which is all here, guys. The new game, we call it, 5G, 5D, PS5. Don't you think that's related? Hello? By fifth element, okay? You are the fifth element. So you have to let go or be dragged, which means that imagine now going back to that simulation. You're playing a video game, but every time you come back, you got to come back with all the baggage. You got to come back with the bullet holes and the bleeding out and all the memories of who you killed over there. So you're not getting the fresh mindset when you come in. You're not like shaked it off. You're like, you have the wisdom, but you also have what we call the pain body. This is the storage of everything that's happened to you. So there is what Trump was saying earlier was clearing the swamp. The game's over, but we got to clear the swamp. And I'll tell you that the illness isn't really the hard part about being sick. The detox, getting all the illness out of the system is what is the most uncomfortable. Because people will go through mentorships with me and their life will start to get really dark. Haha, I know. But it's only because they're clearing out all of the false old crap that is keeping them from the quantum leap. Okay? You're not going to be able to start a new, fresh relationship if you have all the memories of the last set. Like the last set is still playing. Okay? That's another mixtape from another relationship that now you're trying to sell this relationship and hope this one's different, and it does not change. So the Jedi mindset is basically like knowing that there is a deprogramming that has to take place. There is a new reconnection that has to be with heart, body, then mind. So it's almost like the way the Matrix teaches you how to be is mind, right? Desire or pleasure, and then how it affects the world. Okay. Do I want it? Will it feel good? Is it going to be instant? then I will see what the impact on the world is. Okay. Where we're going, the new 5D game, okay, is heart centered first, which means that if I hurt myself, I hurt everyone. If I hurt you, I hurt myself. Unity, right? Children understand this. Women who haven't been abused understand this. But the masculine, old school, patriarch, like domination mindset, not talking about you dudes, I'm talking about the mindset, is separate and divide. And it's all about pleasure and instant gratification. That's why it was okay. They told everyone it was okay to stone people in the street, especially ones who were like witches. Okay? Hello. Like, serious. I know what you know what I'm talking about. Now, what do you do? What do you do? What can you do? Well, if this is your time, because some of you are like, what are you talking about? I'm living this great life simulation. I haven't felt any of these things yet. You're going to get to a certain point, and everyone is going to go through this level. Some people have already done this in another life. That's why they look like they're so further ahead. But have you guys noticed? Find your favorite guru, and I dare you. I put you to the test here. Find your favorite guru on Instagram or YouTube and go listen to their backstory. I bet you 8 out of 10 had a near-death experience or clinically died. Oh, wait. Let's go look. Why? Why is it that most of the ones who know what's on the other side or are living in the new game have had a near-death or a death experience? How come? Because this is what even Buddha talks about as the ego death. Now, I don't think we're trying to kill the ego. The ego is like, hey, I'm just the assistant. I'm just the manager of all this mess, and I do a good job. I keep you focused on your mess. But it's your mess. It's not the ego's mess. The ego is a paperweight that holds you accountable to your state. But it is you, the observer. It is you, the conscious being, that has to change the script. You have to edit. You have to clear out characters. You have to redesign the cinematography. You cannot move in physical reality and have that script change. It won't. Within 3 months, that script will start making that new, beautiful home feel very similar to your old story, because you have to change it on the inside, the set point. The set, Jedi mindset, money mindset, okay? So how can you do that? Well, you have to die. Now you understand my entire biohacking system. Quantum fitness was simulating several different death experiences that don't kill you. You want to sign up? No. Sounds horrific, but it's not. Because the body holds on for dear life because it is primitive, it is primal, and it is mortal. You are like, are you ever going to wear this sweater again? Let's chuck it. But the body is like, I need that memory from the 8th grade when that guy winked at me and then pushed me down. Like, the body is very much like if you've ever had a toddler that, you try to throw away their old toys, and all of a sudden they become so nostalgic and obsessed with, no, you can't let my teddy bear go. Very similar to how the body is. So the body is going to tell you why you need that paperwork from 1983, why you need to keep blah, 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 blah. And it's doing the same thing energetically on the inside. So there's no way you're going to reach guru status or actually being able to play in the 5D simulation if you are playing with your old avatar. Your new avatar needs to have clean slate, okay? And the best thing about it is you keep all the wisdom. You're going to erase the pain body. You're going to get rid of the trauma. You're going to let those programs go. You're going to know how to keep those programs off of you. You're going to know what to do with the underworld spirits. And so you're going to be in a new avatar suit with all the things you love, all the things you know, but none of the dead weight, okay? None of the old, belief systems that create the set. So now let's say you've never been able to rub two nickels together, and yet you want your new avatar to be in a state of prosperity. Okay, you are going to have to erase that program. Otherwise, that poverty and scarcity is going to constantly bleed into your amazing job or your hard work. It's going to bleed in and it's going to show up. So, whatever mindsets you create, go through and look, what is my body mindset? Okay. If I have a body mindset where I don't feel good about my body, then going on a diet's not going to work. I got to change the set. Then, whatever diet I go on will work perfectly. So, remember, you guys are energetic beings that create form. So, you can't change your form and change the program. But you are the coder. You are the game maker if you choose. Now, there's a game maker that will give you a game and tell you you have to play their game, or you could be like, no thanks, I'm going to build my own game and build my own simulation. But that means that your heart, your mind, and your emotions, or your mind, body, soul, have to be in coherence to be telling each other the exact same thing and then acting that out exactly the same way and getting body memory and cellular memory and muscle memory around the new avatar that will then begin to shift. Okay, so it is more of like, what can you let go of? Because most of you are asking for more of something. Think about what you're trying to get more of right now. And the reason why you can't have more of something is because there is a mindset of the less, which means I believe I am less. But then you're asking for more. And we did this one yesterday. So I showed you how to do that. So go back and watch that one yesterday. I showed you how to change your asking to receive differently. But you're going to have to pull these sets out and be like, you're going to have to change the mixtape. You are not that person anymore. And so do not let that set hold you hostage, which was another Jedi mindset that I gave you, which is part of the programming, is to hold you hostage to your past, to hold you hostage to your agreements of who you would be. Oh gosh, that would be going against my dad if I decided that I'm prosperity because he always lived in poverty, and that's disrespectful. You will be surprised at some of the programs you have installed in your hardware that you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I believe this. So if you're not in the state of being, right? All the thing according to God's plan, sweetheart. You are God, sweetheart. You are made in the image of, which means you, go look at the Bible, have the power. You have dominion. You have the word. You have authority. And so it isn't like, oh, this is God's plan, because I don't think that the God that I speak directly to and through and with would ever want that for us. But I think that when we're not listening to God here and knowing God here, then it gets a mess out there. Okay? And I'm not doing any of these lives every day to have some nonsense debaters up here, because you guys are allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. This is a free will world. And I'm doing this for the people who are asking, not for the people who are challenging, because I'm not challenging your beliefs. Okay? So if you want to challenge those beliefs, go do so. Don't be a keyboard coward. Go out and live the change, because that's what we're doing. We're showing up day after day, even though we don't want to, and we are showing you the way through hell, because this is hell until we bring heaven to earth. It's right there in the scripture. It says it right there in the scripture, like all of it. It is our job now to love each other, to love thy neighbor, to forgive. And through doing that, we can let go of all that has been, and we can begin again. But only when you live from here, then the world will be new. Because if you're holding on to what you had a breadcrumb of in the past, or you're holding on to what if he changes, or what if they change, or what if the job finally pays me, then that is a program that you are holding on to that is going to continue to narcissistically abuse you, because the game is a narcissist. Okay? It is built in that build you up, break you down, keep you hopeful, never allow your expectations to be met, keep you in a constant state of disappointment, have people not see you and not hear you, not love you the way that you love them. Sound familiar? This is the game, because it keeps the little inner child in you hoping and seeking for parental love. And it is a hypnosis program that you've got to be like, that's it. I'll be my mother. I'll be my father. I can tap into my creator. I can ground and anchor to the great mother. I will live as the originals lived, which means that I will be in a state of gratitude, and I will eat simply, and I will only use what I need, and I will give back. And this is how this new game is being laid out, is we're going to simplify and live as if what I do affects everyone. Not just about, well, I believe this and you believe that and my God says this. Okay, well, everybody gets to do that. But to me, the God that I listen to in my heart says that I am responsible for everyone's well-being, and it's not on my head or my shoulders, but it's in my heart. If I have the words to speak and the eyes to hear and the ears to hear, then I better show up. Okay, so if you are here to be in service and you're not in service, what are you servicing? What are you in service to? Okay, is it that I'm seeking enough knowledge before I feel ready? Well, then that's the state that you're in, and you can't change your state in physical reality. That's like walking up to a movie, like I said, and trying to yell at the person on the screen saying, hey, change. No, you got to go back and change the script. So the fastest way that you can do, I'm going to give you like 5 biohacks that you can reset, because it's mostly going to be the body that's going to fight against you. This is why your final frontier of the 40 3D game is going to be the embodiment. It is getting your body to let go. Okay? You don't need the body to learn any of the Jedi mind stuff. The Spirit will download all of that to you. The Holy Spirit will download all of that, but the body cannot have double-minded energy. The body can't be stuck in the past where it doesn't believe it has any abilities or psychic tendencies and then go take a psychic class. You're wasting your money. You want to take a class on how to let go of that belief that I'm not good enough or God doesn't love me. You see where you guys are spending your money is like, oh, I have a belief I'm never going to find love, so I'm going to go take a matchmaking class. Go take a class that says, I'm going to let go of that belief. I'm going to go get some hypnosis. And so here's the 5 ways that you can reset your body. Is first and foremost, you have to decide what the avatar is going to be, because you get to choose your own adventure here. That's the Christ consciousness, is I choose my own salvation. So you want to choose, what does that look like? Who are you? What is it that you're becoming? What is all this wisdom? What is this wisdom and this life of sacrifice and suffering? What grace is it building within you? It's giving you grace. So who are you building out of that grace? Who are you building out of that wisdom? And who are you becoming? Then once you go, okay, this is the new set. This is who I am. Okay. Well, now you got to get the trash out. You got to reset everything. And so now the body is going to be like, oh yeah, that is who we are. And then there's like this melding that happens. And then the Holy Spirit can fix all your DNA that got screwed up in the last genetic war and get you online. So then your spirit is operational through the human body. So my 5 biohacking ways to do this without obviously going all the way with it is, your number 1 is you're going to learn how to self-hypnosis to deprogram. Okay. Number 2 is you've got to learn the program completely, both sides, which is why I have my class taking what is a Satanistic mindset webinar right now, because 70% of the people think like a Satanist and don't know it. And I don't mean rituals and drinking blood. I mean the mindset of a Satanist is to judge someone else's identity, status, rapport, skin color, and feel entitled over how they should live. That's a Satanistic mindset. Okay? So we got to clear that out because that's what you learn in childhood. Everybody. Most religions are still teaching that. That's got to go. So, hypnosis, self hypnosis to deprogram, right? Cutting all ties with people and places and things that are draining you, which means getting rid of the old paperwork. That means getting rid of the pictures where you had one good trip in Bali, but a horrible marriage. Like getting rid of it, because energy holds your ability to reconnect. So like if I'm 100% energy, what if 10% is going into all the clutter? So decluttering and getting rid of all evidence of your old avatar, but you keep the wisdom, you're keeping the kids, even if you get rid of the paperwork from the ex, you're keeping love. Love stays with you, but everything else goes. Okay. Cold plunges. Okay, cold plunges. But here's the thing: you can't just go into a cold plunge, especially if you have a very lifelong relationship with self-abuse, because your body be like, oh, she's doing it again. She's trying to kill us. No. You have to have a conversation with your system and say, hey, I'm doing this because I love you. Because 30 minutes in an ice bath will simulate a death experience. Yes, your body begins to feel like it's dying. And what it does is it resets the hard drive. It resets the immune system, the nervous system. It resets the gut. It resets everything. 15 minutes in an ice bath, you're resetting bone marrow. Okay. 30 minutes in an ice bath, you're resetting subatomic energy. Okay. Now, what we would do in our biohacking center is we would do like the combination of the ice and the sauna, because then the sauna is going to help take everything out, and then it help pull everything out, and then the bath. Now, if you can't get to an ice plunge, and I wouldn't even suggest go do this. So you need to have a ground intention first, because your body can look at this like you're trying to kill it and abuse it, and it will turn on you. So you have to be like lined up, like it's you and me. We're doing this together. And this is why I have like an entire biohacking program, because you don't just go to your nearest, plunge, especially if you don't have a good relationship with your body. Like you've got to have some self-love there first, because it can backfire you. And I have seen it backfire. Plant medicine. Plant medicine is another one of my favorite biohacks, but I think it's being abused right now because there has to be an intention before you do it. There has to be a good intention of doing it with the right shaman. It has to be the right shaman. And then afterwards, there's a reintegration period, because something like Mother Ayahuasca, which is a spirit guide, she's going to work on you for months. So you can't just be like, oh, well, I felt so amazing after ayahuasca, I'm going to go do it again. Well, now you're just an addict. You just replaced weed with ayahuasca. So you want to go into an integration process, and you want to rebuild your life. So then if you want to do shrooms or something like that to enhance your connection ability. But again, have you noticed that people who are your favorite gurus, they've all had near-death experiences, and most of those near-death experiences, you guys, was with plant medicine. Hello. Because again, it's going to give you the eyes to see, the ears to hear. It's going to give you the heart to connect, because you're connecting to all that is. And so you're never going to be able to look at the simulation the same way after you've had these experiences. I truly believe that with the right intention, you can microdose all of these things. So my quantum fitness program is a microdosing program where, yes, we're going in to the plunges. We're doing all the things. We're doing the plant medicine in very small gradients, like in a microdose, but not everybody needs it. Like I never needed it. I just crazy on my own. I've always been able to use breath work to get into my DMT spaces. I've never had to take DMT to get into an altered state. I know how to use my lungs because my lungs create DMT. Yeah, very cool. So you don't need it, But notice the obsession of the satanic mind is to overconsume. So it's like, I need more. I need more ice baths. I need more ayahuasca. No, you need to integrate and update the software. You need to clean out the hard drive, and then you need to practice, practice, practice. What I call practice, prepare, and play. Practice, prepare, and play, which is practicing your new simulation, while you're clearing out the old. Okay, so my next one is self-hypnosis. We've got plunges and heat. We've got plant medicine. The next one is what we would call going through and clearing out all of your belief systems, working with an intuitive mentor to help see all of your blind spots, okay, and then give you more of a structured program, which I would recommend, because some people get worse after plant medicine. Some people get better. Some people get really sick through cold plunges. Some people get better. And again, what I believe is that if you have someone who can see your blind spots, who can see your mindsets with no judgment, and can see where you are in your own way and give you a roadmap, then having a mentor who understands the simulation is like my top. Obviously, all of it. If you're going to try to go it alone and do this never-ending story style, then you're going to face all of your own nemesis is on the way to realize that all you need to do is change your name. Go watch that movie. Okay, then the final one, and these are in no order, right? The final one is to go simulate a death experience. Because the mind is so anchored in its righteousness that pride of I know, everything you're saying, Jess, I already know, but not living is going to then be part of the things that you will not let yourself change. So what you will do is the higher power within you will see that you are a creator, but you're not creating anything. And so it's going to start working in the other set of creation, which is destruction. So you're going to start to see all the things in your life being destroyed. You're going to start to see this fasting over here. Like nobody's calling you back now. Your phone is dry. You can't make a living because your higher self is stepping in and giving you a override, saying, you're asking, so I'm showing up and I'm taking away everything that you were addicted to that you wouldn't let go on your own. And so you're welcome. And this is what I see probably more than anything. This is what happened to me because I was fighting against changing certain things because I'm stubborn. And so things just started being taken away from me to show me that I was asking for that, but I couldn't let go on my own. All right. And that is what will happen if you don't let go willingly or work with letting and changing the pain body within yourself. I know, I get it, right? We just got a confirmation over here. I don't want to go too much into this, but this is everything that my academy is built on, my biohacking program. And if you're trying to change things by changing your mind, realize that there is buried programs in all of your chakras to keep you playing the avatar that you have always played. So you cannot just change your mind, change your hairstyle, change your diet, change your boyfriend, change your job, because you've got to change it at creator level. And when you do that, then everything will change. And it is a process. The instant gratification mindset is satanic, bottom line. So it is a process. It took you this long to make this mess. It's going to take you a little bit of time to clean it up. I believe we're always going to be working on being our best selves in every new level, every new game. But it starts to get really fun, you guys, when you even when you just understand, like, oh, this is just a simulation, but you can't just go, oh, time doesn't exist, and then not factor in that you had to pick up your kid at 3 o'clock. Well, time does exist for you then. These people are like, oh, time doesn't exist. And I'm like, really? Okay, well then I won't expect you to show up. So it's almost like that's the double-mindedness where we're not living in time, we're not buying into time, yet I'm in a hurry. So check yourself, because a lot of the self-sabotage comes from your mind believes in one thing and your emotions are like, hey, this is real life and we're letting people be down by being late all the time, and it's hurting our relationships. So it is about getting real with yourself And when you start to realize that your body is afraid of some of the things that you do to it, and that your body is just loving you, and you start to have compassion, which is one of our Christ C's, then you start to say, "Oh, I want my body to be excited about these changes," because your body will literally take on whatever form the mindset is in. You can change your genetics, you can change almost everything about yourself if it is in the threshold of your believability, not mine, not the world's. But if you believe that you could change your eye color and you sat with the epigenetic formula long enough, you would. Okay? Because nothing is impossible to the I am consciousness, because I am possible. Okay? So that's my biohack for Saturday. Sit in it Saturday. And we are staying in our pajamas all day, so we can just have a play day. Enjoy your day. It's raining here, so it's a perfect excuse for us. And I will see you tomorrow.